There are a group of people that absolutely and honestly believe in 2016 the earth is flat. The earth is flat. DeGrasse Tyson is out in our lobby right now. And I'm thinking, how, in this day and age, when there are so many brilliant people, do people honestly believe the world is flat? I was watching some videos over the weekend that were preposterous.
Yeah.
There are so many conspiracy theories and whatnot around that you can't even keep track of them. This one blew my mind. The earth is flat. Have you heard the flat earther people that believe the earth is flat?
This is a deep failure of our educational system.
Thank you.
The way we teach science is you're just some empty vessel and we pour the science into you and then you regurgitate it on an exam.
Right.
Whereas science is a way of thinking. It's a way of understanding and probing the operations of nature.
You ever see a flat globed map from the North Pole? It's
Flattens out, yeah.
They use that as their flat template. Around the edge is Antarctica, which is an ice rim that resides along so you can't fall off. Okay. You have to go over what would be Antarctica. Now, the rest of it is in the middle. Well, wouldn't the equator, which is supposed to be the furthest distance you could travel on the planet, wouldn't that be shorter than the distance if you went around Antarctica?
You are thinking rationally about this.
Well, apparently I am.
We were at war. Simply.
Yeah.
We were at war. And when Sputnik was launched, Sputnik wasn't just some spacecraft. It was a hollowed out intercontinental ballistic missile shell where they put a radio transmitter and it flew over our heads outside of our airspace because it was in our space, if you will.
Right.
And NASA was formed a year later, and thus began the space race. So it wasn't just pride. It would be on Mars. Moon 1969, Mars by 1980, which would only be 11 years later. Why weren't we on Mars? People who thought we'd be on Mars thought we went to the moon because we're explorers and we're discoverers and we're Americans. All China has to do is leak a memo saying they want to put military bases on Mars. Doesn't have to be true.
Right.
Leak it, right? We'd be on Mars in 10 months.
Right.
Oh, my God. 1 month to design, build, fund the spacecraft. 9 months to get there. We have colonies, cities. Okay. Or there's got to be some economic motivation.
Right.
Is there oil on Mars or diamond mines on Mars? Other than that, I've lost confidence that just political will is sufficient. What did we discover today? What are we going next week? What did the astronaut do then? They're going to step down on a comet, on an asteroid. They're going to deflect an asteroid that might hit us. Oh my gosh. And even if you don't want to be a scientist, you'll do things that are affected by what that frontier is. Let's say you want to be an attorney. What you're going to say, I want to write the new laws that'll affect mining asteroids.
Yeah.
Who owns an asteroid when you arrive there?
It opens up a lot.
So here's the thing. So we've already been to the moon.
Right.
So now private enterprise goes to the moon. We already know what it costs, and you can do better on that.
Right.
We know what it's made of.
Kind of an outline.
We know it's not made of cheese.
I like being able to just say, hey, let's bring Neil deGrasse Tyson in to talk about flat Earth. Yeah, let's do that.
I'm trying to keep the universe going.
Okay.
They tell you all the time what to do, what to think, what to feel. Do you want to be like a sheep? Like all those other people, man? Do you understand? That piece of shit up there, I never liked him. I never trusted him.
engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone, all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. No flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bowel-shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impale him with monster truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade. Cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. Yeah! No trophy, no flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bowel-shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impale him with monster truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade. Cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's striving and driving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. Cause he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone, all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and biting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's going the distance.
People used to joke years and years ago about those who argued that the earth was flat. And for a long period of time, people argued that the earth was flat, even when the evidence of astronomers and others and explorers evidenced that it was in fact quite the opposite.
Even just a memory. Oh. What you leave behind for me? All in all it was just a brick in the wall. All in all it was all just bricks in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Hey! Teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Nope, 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 nope. Moon, moon, nope, 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 nope. Earth. Nope, 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 nope. Yep. Yep. Nope. Stars. Nope, 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 nope. Stars.
And so we have, in effect, with respect to climate change in America today, what is fundamentally a flat earth caucus. A bunch of people, some of them in the United States Congress itself, who still argue against all the science, all the evidence. They argue that somehow we don't know enough about climate change, or they argue that the evidence is sufficient, or they argue that it just is a hoax, it just is a hoax, it just is a hoax.
Саша, я выключаю или ты выключаешь?
Мам, подожди.
Все, давай, я считаю до 3 и выключаю. 1.
Нет.
Саша, 2. У тебя есть шанс поиграть в игру вот оставшееся время. Время идет. Можешь не играть, пожалуйста. Время идет, Саша. Выключаем.
Нет.
Саша, 2,5.
Я не выключу, пока я кое-что не сделаю.
Саша, выключаем 2,5 уже.
Нет.
Значит, сейчас я буду выключать.
Я не выключу, пока только что...
Саша.
Мам, я не выключу.
Сейчас выключу я, и компьютер вообще
Да,
не
я
включится
хочу, мама,
никогда.
Да я хочу тут кое-что сделать, подожди.
Саша.
Мам, ради бога, подожди.
Ничего делать не
Да
надо,
это
надо
быстро.
выключить. Надо выключить.
Нет.
Да.
Нет.
На обмеження Сашко реагує протестом.
Выключай.
Нет.
И не кричи, пожалуйста.
Достала.
Не кричи.
Не выключу.
Значит, я выключаю.
Мам.
Значит, я сейчас выключаю.
Мам, я хочу тут только почитать.
Не
и всё.
выключить.
Мам,
Не выключить.
я хочу почитать и все, и выключу. Мама, зачем?
Так.
Ну тут вот это надо почитать.
Я
чтобы-
сейчас выключу.
Мама, да выслушай. Какая же ты дура. Пошла ты на дура, чтоб ты сдохла.
У хлопця починається істерика. Це нормальна реакція на спроби подолати залежність.
Дурацкие вы правила.
Мати не залишає спроб домовитися з сином.
Открой дверь немедленно.
Хочу.
Немедленно, я сказала. Быстро. Я хочу зайти на кухню, в конце концов. Ты мне что тут сейчас, весь дом разгромить решил? Так, дай сюда. Так, мой милый. Так дело у нас не пойдет.
Я их не буду выполнять. Пошла ты, шлюха, в жопу.
Садись вот туда.
Что такое?
Я сейчас накажу. И очень сильно. За такие слова. Ты меня понял?
Ты старая, я эти правила не буду выправлять.
Is in his office now and would like to say a few words to you. Over. That would be an honor. Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made from the White House. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you have done. For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure that they too join with Americans in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world. The heavens have become a part of man's world.
Because of what you have done. Because of what you have done. The heavens have become a part of man's world.
The heavens have become a part of man's world. And thank you very much, and I look forward, all of us look forward to seeing you on the Hornet on Thursday.
Look forward to that very much, sir.
And as you talk to us from the Sea of Tranquility, it inspires us to redouble our efforts to bring peace and tranquility to Earth. For one priceless moment, In the whole history of man, all the people on this earth are truly one. One in their pride in what you have done, and one in our prayers that you will return safely to earth.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing
That piece of shit up there, I never liked him. I never trusted him.
Now, I know there are still a few who insist that climate change is one big hoax,
Oh, CGI graphics god, you have entertained us. We have loved you. From the silver screen to the modern smartphone, your ways are wondrous.
Oh, NASA CGI graphics god, we have blind faith in you.
Oh, CGI, we worship you, CGI.
The camera is pretty close to the Earth and the Moon while the Sun is a much bigger distance away. By looking at the terminator line and hotspot, we can conclude the Sun must be somewhere behind the camera, a tiny bit to the left. So the Moon should cast a shadow onto the Earth.
Please deliver us belief systems. We will give you our money.
We always see the same side of the Moon from Earth, so the Moon should rotate with the Earth.
Forgive us our cognitive dissonance, as we forgive those who cog this against us.
The time lapse is taken over a period of 5 hours, but the clouds hardly change. Let's try to zoom in on some.
CGI, thank you, sisters. Bless you, blessings. CGI.
This NASA picture shows the difference in size between the Earth and the Moon. The Moon is 27% the size of Earth. The red circle is 27% the size of the Earth, but the camera is closer to the Moon. I tried to simulate this in 3D software, but the sizes and distances are too absurd.
CGI. CGI. These are first from my senses. CGI. CGI.
Looking at the technology in the camera, it's still very good technology. It might not be cutting edge like you know today, but the electronics are good, the optics are good. So yes, I think the Epic camera is in good shape, and I don't consider it old technology. It's refurbished, and I think the pixels that are going to be in the views are going to be excellent.
Lead us into curvature. Oh, CGI.
What Bill said about the scientists and engineers in NASA and NOAA, and some of their colleagues in the Air Force as well, have been steadfast in making it possible for this mission to come off. But some of these scientific teams have worked on a volunteer basis for 14 years since it was originally canceled, literally. Because they believe in it that much. Yes, the constant ability to see the Earth whole, fully sunlit, every single day. The opportunity for every man, woman, and child who lives on the Earth to see, if they wish, their own home in the context of the whole can add to our way of thinking about our relationship to the Earth. And of course, the Earth's ecosystem, principally the climate balance, but other dimensions of it as well, are now threatened as never before. Political and governmental leaders in every nation to take action to save the future of human civilization.
CGI. CGI. CGI.
Why does the moon have a green shadow outline?
On CGI. Gravitons. Oh, CGI, you come in my visions. CGI.
Why are there no stars?
CGI. CGI. Spinning balls in space.
Why is the moon not glowing like we see at full moon? I tried to make it look more real.
CGI. 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 Spinning balls in space.
Here is what NASA says about this 17-year-old Epic camera. The color images of Earth from Epic are generated by combining three separate images that create a photographic quality image. These images show the effect of sunlight scattered by air molecules, giving the images a bluish tint. The Epic team is now working on a rendering of these images that emphasizes land features and removes this atmospheric effect.
CGI. Oh, floppy doors.
In the meantime at NASA,
Time to see where curiosity will take us.
You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round, that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and that gravity is the reason that objects fall to the ground.
seen it in other videos of the ball earth with the oceans removed. Okay, let's try this. I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't appear to be filling up to the shape of the ball. It seems to be running off the bottom here. I'll try that. Look. Again, it's running off the sides. I can't get it to mound up to the shape of the board. I don't know why. Should I spin it? Should I spin it? Aye. Give it a spin. How about you? Right, let's see. So, it appears that the water seems to be running off the side, finding its own level again, but we'll give something else a try, yeah? Now it would appear that there seems to be more level on this side here. I'm thinking maybe gravity prefers this side to this side, or maybe it's just because it's on uneven ground. We'll try this, see what happens. Oh, oh, oh. And now you can see that it tilts out, finds its own level. I'm on the ball here, you know. You really think that the oceans are like this, you know, and upside down where it's like this, and wee boats can come in here and hang upside down in the water, that all just sticks to that. I mean, does it get any more ridiculous than that? Does there need to be any other argument? No. If you want to find out where we live, how does water behave? Finds its own level. Therefore, the earth is flat. Simple. Okay? I don't know if you can see this up here as well. We've got these things called gutters on the top of the houses. Okay? So that when the rainwater runs off the top of the houses, it goes into these gutters and it finds its way to a point where it drains away. I don't know why it doesn't just mound up on top of the gutters or mounds up on top of the roof. You know? That's it. There's no argument. The earth's flat.
She said, hello mister, pleased to meet you. I wanna hold her, I wanna kiss her. She smelled a daisy, she smelled a daisy. She drive me crazy, she drive me crazy. Gonna take her for a ride on a big jet plane. Gonna take her for a ride on a big jet plane. Yeah, yeah.
see what they have to disclose. One flight that should be a simple 11-hour shot across the Indian Ocean is from Johannesburg, South Africa to Perth, Australia. However, this flight takes a detour north, stopping in either Dubai, Hong Kong, or Malaysia to refuel, for a total flight time averaging over 18 hours. This ridiculously wayward detour is frustrating to say the least, but on the flat Earth map starts to make sense. Another quick and easy flight, you would think, is from Johannesburg to Santiago, Chile. While an easy 12-hour flight below the Tropic of Capricorn is to be expected, instead every flight crosses the equator to refuel in Senegal, all the way near the Tropic of Cancer, for a total flight time of 19 hours. Though it doesn't make sense on a globe, as you can see it fits perfectly on the flat Earth map. A third flight from Johannesburg is to Sao Paulo, Brazil, which should be a direct 10-hour flight across the 25th degree south latitude. But instead, every flight crosses into the north to stop in London to refuel, making the total flight time 24 hours. From Santiago, Chile to Sydney, Australia, a straight 15-hour flight across the South Pacific is expected. Despite refueling options in either New Zealand or any island in the South Pacific, the flight stops all the way at Los Angeles to refuel before continuing south to its destination. As already stated, these detours make no sense on the globe, but are explained and work perfectly well on the flat Earth map, having the North Pole at the center.
I'm just so amazed by the accuracy of the information that you put out. I've been listening for like a year and a half now, and like everything that you've said has just come to fruition, like the surveillance blimps.
Well, sir, that was always partially declassified. They would just say it didn't exist nationally and say they were flying saucers, but they got blimps all over the country, and yeah, it's amazing they admit it's a secret blimp with the Army watching us.
Yeah, and now that we have a U.S. Navy missile instructor and many other experts confirming that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane...
You're being sarcastic. That's a prank call. That's an ad hominem thing where people... There's seminar calls on that where you call in, and then you say, oh, you're so accurate, you know, and then they add something like the Earth's flat. It's a standard tactic. It's like when, when Al Gore's before Congress and they say, you know, the truth is the Earth's been cooling for a few years. And he goes, yes, and you think no one went to the moon. I'm like, no, we went to the moon. And I'll be on national shows. They'll go, no one went to the moon, right, Alex? And I'm like, no, we went to the moon.
The moon, for Christ's sake.
Got some bad PR photos because the radiation damaged the film. They doctored them.
Are you fucking believing this? Over.
I hope the two of you are not concerned about this.
And I'll be on national shows. They'll go, no one went to the moon, right, Alex? And I'm like, no, we went to the moon.
Can you see?
It's a non-stop disco.
Entire planet Earth. Love of Christ. See the Earth. Entire planet Earth. Entire planet Earth. Love of Christ.
Left me behind, lost inside the enemy lines. And overnight, I changed my shape to fit with something. You won't let me out, keep pulling me down. You kept me afraid until now. With your head full of lies, head full of lies. Stay with me. Ooh. Head full of lies. Stay with me. Head full of lies, consumed by my rage. I ran far from the words that you say. By the way, I searched my heart to feel something, but when you come to mine, my love is blind. Because of you, I am unkind. With my head full of lies, head full of lies. Stay with me. Ooh. Head full of lies. Stay with me. Ooh. Head full of lies. Deep abyss, pulling you in, running through your veins like sin. Ooh. A fatal spin beneath your skin, residue flows within. Ooh. We don't have to worry about nothing, 'cause we got the fire and we burning one hell of a something. They're gonna see us from outer space, light it up like we're the stars of the human race. When the lights turning down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands they can't put it out, out, out. We can light it up, 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 so they can't put it out, out.